Okay, here's a little brief review of the electrical system. All the wires have been half done, where they have one end completed and the other end is kind of open. And that's so when we finish figuring out how we want to figure out the launching system, when we put that in, we figure out where things can fit, and we start placing down components onto the board, onto the robot, then we can cut the wires to length. And I'm going to be gone for the next 2 days. I don't know if you guys want to go ahead and work on the wiring, so I just did this little video and showing the kind of concept. So each battery has its own little 20 amp connection here. The positive of both of these are going to connect to here onto the battery side of the circuit breaker, and that's going to cut off all positive power to the system. The two grounds are going to connect to this little ground bus. We have these two yellow connectors that'll take in the two batteries, and they'll pass power from one side to the other to these two black wires. These two black wires, as well as two of these red wires, go to the motor controllers. One couple for each controller. I'm not too sure if the wires are going to fit into the terminals, which are on this side, but these will handle 20 amps, so the wires won't burn up. And so yeah, just two of those go, one set to each motor controller, assuming two motor controllers, one for each side of the robot. And then there's power for the VEX and for the additional stuff. That power comes from the ground. Power will be coming from these two jumpers, coming from the negative of the batteries, collecting to the center to power the motor and whatever else is going to need for the launcher, and then another ground for the VEX. This third positive here comes out and around, and it's going to connect to this higher up strip higher up on here. And although I don't have additional terminals like here shown, there's going to be a terminal to connect the positive for all the launching mechanism stuff, and a positive for the VEX controller. And that's just about it for the electrical. There's some sensor stuff, but that'll get figured out when we figure out where we want to place things and we can cut things to length. Yep. Okay.